Greetings and welcome to Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. It's boys varsity lacrosse, the Maclay Marauders, and your hosts, the Bolles Bulldogs. I am Ray Carnicelli at Lax904 on Twitter, joined by Christopher Milo. Chris, Rivalry on the River. It is the second to last game of it's been an amazing week of lacrosse. Today's matchup, Maclay versus Bolles. What are your thoughts?
Very excited about this. Bolles comes in ranked number 8 in the state. Maclay's a little bit down the list. Coach Tom West has been having a great year, so I expect Bolles to put some points on the board fairly quickly. Maclay needs to slow it down like they typically do and done it over the last couple of years. And we'll see what happens.
So the Maclay Marauders just up the road in Tallahassee. The keys to the game for Maclay, they have to find a way to get the ball, whether that's on the face-offs or from the goalie play. You're going to look to a couple of key players. Number 13, Everett Thompson. He is the playmaker. You need to know where number 13 is at all times. Very dangerous with that left hand. Dynamic. It's going to be interesting to see how Bolles plays. Do they shut him off? Do they just square up? Do they slide early? On the Bolles side, they've got so many offensive weapons. You've got Sledzik and Surface, but Caleb Coleman, he is a sniper. He is one of the top shooters in Florida, headed to Vermont. Just can't say enough.
And don't forget about the goalie for Bolles, Garrett Job, having a fantastic year. Lots of great save percentage this year.
One thing about Coleman is he's sneaky behind the cage, but he has the ability to get to the great shooting spots, that 5-on-5. So keep an eye out for number 2 as he sneaks around the back door. His teammates know where to find him. Condense and go to Coleman, and then Sledzik's there or Surface is there. Just so many great options. So we're going to go ahead and take a break, come back with starting lineups. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. It's a beautiful day for lacrosse at the Bolles School. Rivalry on the River, brought to you by Covenant Roofing. Ray Carnicelli and Chris Milo. Just so excited about today's action. Maclay coming over from Tallahassee, facing a very tough Bolles school. Coach Van Tassel, he knows he's got a strong task ahead of him today. So Coach Van Tassel, he's got a son on the team. We may see a 6th grader goalie. And it's not just about Thompson. It's a small school, it's Maclay. And you look at their starting lineup at defense. You've got Chasen and Rupnarine and Deal. At attack, Rowe, Thompson. In goal, Owen Phipps. And he's going to have his work cut out for him today. Owen Phipps is a senior, so he's been there and done that. He's been in the trenches. Face-offs and goalkeeping will be something that we'll keep an eye on. And we know that Maclay, they've got the talent. Do they have the depth? And there's Coach Tom West. He's won a state championship at Ponte Vedra, a mainstay in the lacrosse community throughout Florida. This is his first year at the Bolles School. He's got a strong staff. There's Cam Mann, the Hall of Famer from Jacksonville University, there with Coach West. And the starting lineup, the big man in goal, number 88, Garrett Job. I love the way he stops balls. He is a dynamic player. He loves the game, and it shows when he plays. That potent scoring opportunity for Bolles comes in the form of Sledzik and Coleman and Surface and so many players. So we're there for the opening face-off for Bolles. It's Boree. Pushing it forward into the offensive end. There's Surface. Time, space, shot, score! 8 seconds in. Boree gets the clamp. And Surface, Spencer Surface, how quick was that?
It's one of the things we talked about before the game was Bolles is going to look to score early and often. 8 seconds into the game, Spencer Surface brings it down the field and just runs right down the middle, gets his hands high and nice, and shoots opposite side on the goal and just puts it in the back of the net.
He got that separation, and no slide came. He's dangerous, and when you can put an offensive scoring threat on the wing on faceoff, it's so key. We'll see if Maclay takes a defensive posture moving forward. Deal comes up with that ground ball, so the faceoffs are even at 1. There's Dowdy staying on after taking that faceoff. We'll see if he stays, if he's a specialist, or if he'll stay with the offense. Heading towards the box, back behind the goal. There's Everett Thompson. Matchup for Tanner Furyk, just committed to Sewanee, the School of the South. So congratulations to Furyk, number 31. Gets that difficult matchup with Thompson. So here's that's Cannon Deal. Down that left alley. No slides come early, just working it behind. And Chris, you had mentioned the tempo, and I expect Maclay to try to take the air out of the ball as much as they can and keep the ball away from Bolles.
Maclay has historically done this for as long as I've known the program, been around it. They're very slow, very methodical. They want to make sure that they have the correct matchups, and they'll test a little bit, but they'll wait to see who the best matchup is against, and then eventually they'll go to the goal.
Phipps covered by Kerner. Good disruptive checks coming in. That pass is just picked straight out of the air. Really nice defensive effort by Bryce Hogan. Patient in the clear. There's Job. Had a chance to talk to him yesterday. He was out watching some of the other games, and he is excited to play today. Really nice clear. You've got time to get it across. Sometimes young teams are a little impatient, but good poise for the Bulldogs in white. Offsides behind the play, maybe? Yeah, Coach West can't be happy about that. Early in the game, on a clear to go off sides, that's just probably miscommunication. Yeah, they had a great defensive play with that pickoff in the pass. It's mental mistakes. They need to clean that up. Offense needs to be on the other side of the field scoring goals. So the ball is controlled by Cannon Deal, one of the many seniors. Lots of seniors on this Maclay team. Deal being deliberate. The goal scorer surface. Playing defense here. Right-handed cradle, looking to throw back. Help comes. See if Maclay can move the ball and find the open man. Bolles got that backing help. There's a shot. Job makes easy work of it. Perfect outlet pass, and off to the races. It's Spencer Surface. Taking a nice angle to the middle of the field. Feeds down low. Low angle shot disrupted. But Bolles is going to stay with it. That's Ander Kelly. Left-handed scoring threat. Back to Surface. Spencer Surface finally coming off the field. He's been on since the game started. There's Jacob Campen. Back to Kelly. Keep an eye on number 40 who likes to initiate the offense. He's behind. That's Andrew Sledzik right now. Right-handed cradle. Down the right alley comes Campen. Got the defense spinning a little bit. Pushing that right goal line extended. Watch that inside move. That was Gavin Burry. Working it around to Campen. 10 yards from Cage. Carrying it behind. Back to Sledzik. Trying to get underneath. Not a lot of off-ball movement right now. A little bit of ball watching. Here comes Kellen Padgett, and he does have a rifle. Give him a little bit of space. There's Sledzik pushing the right goal line. Slide comes. Skip pass up top. Caleb Coleman corrals it. If that pass is on the money, that's a good shot opportunity, but the pass was low. Coleman did a nice job just to control it. Working out the early game bugs. Bolles on top by a score of 1-0 over Maclay. Rivalry on the river. There's Padgett. So it looks like Maclay's coming pretty early, and start looking for Bolles to skip it or spin it a little quicker, but that's an over and back call. Unforced error, and nice defensive stand by the Marauders. There's a shot, deflected. Still a shot. It's going to stay in bounds. A lot of what we've seen from the Bolles offense is their first dodge is not really a dodge to score. It looks like more of a dummy dodge to try and get it to the backside. We're away from the slide and get a one-on-one matchup. uncharacteristic sloppy play stick handling right now for Bolles. They were able to recover it. Winning the ground ball battle was Ander Kelly. Back to J.D. Matson. This is a pretty deep high school team, Bolles. A lot of times you look at these high school teams and they might have one line of midi and one line attack that are really threatening, but Bolles, they are pretty deep at both of those offensive positions.
Ray, what's the total roster count for Bolles?
A lot.
I think it was 34, 35 players. That's a lot for a high school team.
Here comes Gavin Burry, left-handed cradle. He penetrates, rolls back, sheds the defender, feeds to the crease. It skips through. It should stay with Bolles as J.D. Matson is there to collect it.
As you've seen now, there's a couple of times where they're looking for that skip-through pass, and we had a low pass up top that was luckily didn't go over and back, and then another one that just went high.
At some point, Bolles is going to connect with these passes and find the open man because Maclay is pretty spread out on these slides and recovery. It's working for them for so far, but see if they can keep up with it. Dodge and penetration, backing it out. That's Matson. Now, there's a shot and it's collected. Maclay ball. So Maclay with the defensive stand. Time of possession does not really matter in lacrosse. Did they go offsides, or it's going to be a timeout?
No, I think it was a timeout by the Maclay coach.
So we're going to go ahead and take a break with 5:21 to go in quarter number one. Our score is Bolles 1, Maclay 0. It's Rivalry on the River, brought to you by Covenant Roofing.
What makes us unique is just service. We control as many variables as we can. We do all of our own decorating, we do trophies, we do banners, and now we create our own uniforms in this building with this new sublimation process that we have. Just the last 21 years just have been incredible at how the business has evolved.
Duval is a big place, so you need to get a lot of mileage out of what you drive. At Duval Motor Company, we put service first. With complimentary service loaner vehicles and multiple locations to serve you, our service teams take care of you by providing repair services for every make and model. Ford, Honda, Acura, Subaru, Chevrolet, and everything in between. We've got Duval covered when it comes to service. Any make, any model, any location. DuvalMotorCompany.com.
We are at the Bolles School. It's Rivalry on the River. Boys varsity lacrosse, Bolles 1, Maclay 0, 5:21 to go in the first quarter. Chris, a lot of possession for Bolles, not a lot to show for it. No,
very sloppy play. I'm sure Coach Can Mann and Coach Tom West talked about in that timeout there. Clean up the passes, you don't have to make the perfect pass every time. Just throw the ball to your teammate. Give him a good target, be able to catch the ball and shoot.
Cannon Deal will bring it in for Maclay. So they're getting the ball with about 5:15 to go. Let's see how long they hold it before they initiate the offense. Cannon in no hurry. See the line mates clear through, trying to create some space for Deal. Working it back behind. That's Thompson, covered by Furyk. Overplaying that left hand. You can see Furyk trying to force Thompson to take it to the right, and Furyk's having none of it. If you're going to go that way, you're going to go wide and not become a threat. So really nice defense by Furyk there early. Borey. Cannon Deal, right-handed cradle, down the right alley. He's got a little bit of space. The check comes in. Bryce Hogan puts it on the ground. Deal's able to pick it back up. A little bit of stick chasing by the Bolles defense. Back in position, aggressive by Bryce Hogan, number 12 in white. Got to watch that interference call. So they called a stall warning right now, Chris.
Yeah, they've had the ball for over a minute. They haven't really tried to penetrate. A couple of dummy dodges, not really doing anything, not going to the goal. So now they have to keep it in the offensive box.
There's a shot, high bounce shot. Looked like it was deflected by Tanner Hogan. Ate that shot, took one for the team, but at least Maclay can say they went to the goal that time with a shot, even though it hit the defender. It's still the stall warning. They stepped out of the box.
Yeah, so after the shot, they took it off. As soon as they went back into the offensive box, they called that stall warning again. The Maclay players just didn't realize it, stepped out of the box. Now we're going the other way.
Patrick Mulvey. Working it around. There's Borey. Substituting through. Spencer Surface. Dumps it off to Campen. Both of these teams are pretty deliberate. The second game coming up is going to be a little different with Ponte Vedra and Creekside. Just different styles of lacrosse. There's a left-handed cradle. Caleb Coleman, he's got space, shoots it wide. He is so cagey, being able to jump to his left and to his right. That was a right-handed take. Quick restart. Sledzik to Coleman. Campen, shot and a save. Maclay attempting to clear under heavy pressure. If they're going to get offense, this is a good way to get it in transition. They decide to back it out. Checks are raining in from the Bolles school. Who wants it? Bolles wants it. Tanner Hogan wants it. And now here's an odd man rush. They had it. Hogan was a little quick to get rid of it, throwing it back, but reeled in by Campen.
A little disappointed in Maclay there. I thought they had the rush. They probably should have pushed it a little bit for some early offense. I think they had the numbers there. Pulled it out, you know, typical Maclay, slow-paced offense. But me as a coach, I would have taken that opportunity.
Surface over to Coleman. Back up top to Campen. Here's Surface. Gets to the middle. Shot, score! Second goal for Bolles. Second goal for Spencer Surface. Nice little split to the middle. Quick release.
Yeah, Spencer did a great job of just putting his foot in the ground, faking to the right, little face dodge to the left. Got his hands towards the middle, like we saw at JU, Coach Galloway talked about earlier today. Gets his hands high and shoots for that opposite side of the goalie, and the goalie just couldn't make a save.
What a well-placed shot. Goalie number 37. Don't have him on my roster, so we'll get the numbers corrected. But he was a little out of position there, and Surface saw that big white space of twine in the top left. Put the ball into it.
Goal is 6 feet by 6 feet. You just got to find where the goalie isn't, right, Ray?
And Spencer Surface did just that. Face-off win. Bryce Hogan comes up with it. Gets it to Sledzik. He's separating. Watch him shield. Get a stick to the middle. Shot wide. There to back it up was Ander Kelly.
There's that early and fast-paced offense that we like to see from Bolles.
Quick restarts. And Sledzik did a really nice job of keeping that defender off of his shoulder and shielding to the middle. There's Borey. Mystery man number 30. Back to Nate Towers. Pushing that right goal line extended. Trying to get underneath. He gets to the front. Defensive check came in and kind of hung the attacker up. And turnover goes to Maclay.
That was a great lift check by number 19, Carson Stockton. Just got underneath his elbow, and he wasn't able to get any power into that shot.
So Maclay attempting to clear, taking a little bit of time to get it across. Dowdy does. Heavy pressure, he's got to get that touch in. Haven't done it yet, there's a flag down. Interesting, it looked like a nice check, but referees are going to call it. Certainly haven't gotten it into the box. And now that delayed penalty on the stoppage of play, probably be a slash assessed against Bolles. So 1 minute slashing penalty against Bolles. Not sure, coach, come on. Saying, come on, let him play. But it's going to be an extra man opportunity.
I would assume that Bolles is going to pack it in really tight with as good of a goalie as Garrett Jobe is. They'll welcome outside shots, I think, all day long.
24 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's not the way you want to start off your extra man opportunity if you're Maclay. If they can hold the ball, there won't be a face-off. That is a risky pass. Jobe needs to hold it. Hold it, and there's no face-off. Hold it, you can hear the coaches saying it. Hold it, they can't hear. Oh, it worked out for Bolles. I think they had the ball.
Yeah, so the good thing what they changed, though, is if you are passing the ball and you complete the pass, not necessarily has to be in your stick. If you complete the pass, then you still get it.
So we're going to go ahead and take a break. Our score is Bolles 2, Maclay 0. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing and Construction. The CSI companies, your workforce solutions reimagined. Bono's Real Pit Barbecue since 1949. FSCJ, enroll today. And Duval Motor Company, serving Northeast Florida since 1916. Picture perfect day on the banks of the St. Johns River. It's Rivalry on the River. So Bolles up 2-0. There's Spencer Surface, number 4. 2 goals so far. Greer Borey there for the face-off for the Bolles school. This one is controlled by Maclay. So Chris, we saw the referees install that stall warning early. Now here's quick offense, and it's deflected. Tanner Hogan, big boy, takes one for the team, and he gets shoved out of bounds. Got to hustle back in and get a defensive position. Might have a timeout. Yeah, timeout on the field. So it looked like Coach West valued that possession as Hogan was about to go out of bounds. Call the timeout, settle the troops up. So Hogan, nice job not only eating that shot, but he comes up first time ground ball, holds possession, and they get the timeout call before he went out of bounds. So really athletic play from the big man.
Yeah, great job by Maclay recognizing that they had an opportunity for a shot early in the offense, and then obviously great job by number 10, Tanner Hogan, to eat that shot, not allow it to get to his goalie, and then that first time ground ball and moving it.
So stealing possessions, how can you get a possession back? You can win a face-off, you can make a save and control the rebound, or you can take a shot to the waist and pick up the ground ball. So every possession counts, especially when you're playing a team like Maclay, who wants to milk the clock and keep this thing close. But here's an opportunity for the Bolles school, clearing from their own end. My guess is they'll get one of those speedy Bolles athletes that they're so famous for to maybe do a punt return clear. Chris, tell me what a punt return clear is.
So punt return clear in lacrosse is whoever picks up the ball just starts running down the field and gets to the other side of the field. It's very simple. You just have to be fast and strong.
The other option is work it around, find the open space. And this is who better, Spencer Surface. He's at the 50,
man.
He's at the 40, he's at the 30. Dishes it off to Jacob Campen. Back across to the dangerous Caleb Coleman. Working behind, there's Sledzik. It's just a matter of time before he gets those hand frees. Feed to the crease, shot and a score, and a flag comes down. Goal by Gavin Borey.
Yeah, great job by Sledzik to beat his man, get topside, up the field, and then recognize Gavin Borey on the backside. Easy catch and shoot.
Borey had his stick in his right hand on that right side of the cage, which is a little bit difficult. You kind of have to twist your shoulders to get him faced back up to the cage, but it helps when you've got a feeder like Sledzik. So they're going to call a push, which is the minor foul. They'll wipe it out on the goal. The goal is good. So see how he caught it with his right hand and kind of had to twist it around.
Typically, we like to teach our players to be on that side. You catch with your left hand. It's a little bit easier, catch and shoot. He's a high school player. Maybe he doesn't trust his left hand that much.
Well, the old days, Chris, things are changing. They want, so many coaches are fine with them having it in the dominant hand, even in college. You and I are a little bit of a dinosaur when it comes to that.
You're more of a dinosaur than I am, but...
Blame it on Cam Mann with that Canadian influence. Play to the dominant hand. Assistant coach Cam Mann for the Bolles School. He's a face of JU lacrosse for so many years, and having him on that Bolles staff.
Played professional lacrosse, indoor lacrosse with the Colorado Mammoth for several years. So I think he knows what he's talking about.
Cannon Deal controls for Maclay. Back behind to Everett Thompson. Furyk making Thompson's life miserable so far. He's dominant left-handed, and the scouting report is playing true. He's got room to his right, but he's not taking it. They're going to keep tempting him. Becomes half a lacrosse player if he can't get back underneath to the right.
Tanner's just saying, take it to your right hand. If you score a goal on me right-handed, good on you, but you're not going to score one left-handed.
That was a shot, called a shot. That was Brad Garish, sailed high over the cage, never a threat, and turnover. Back to Bolles. 10 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. It's Bolles 3, Maclay 0. Rivalry on the river. Presented by Covenant Roofing, CSI companies. Here's Spencer Surface. Campen setting up that long dodge towards the pole. Now they're just going to work it around as they go through some substitutions. There's Sledzik. Back to Surface. Who's going to start the party? There's Caleb Coleman. Working off that pick. Coming around the right goal line, swims back to the middle. They're going to call a moving pick. Chris, did you see it?
Yeah, he stuck his shoulder out. When you set a pick, you have to stay still. You can't do anything. He kind of leaned into it. It looks like he might have said something to the referee and got a flag, because typically that's just a change of possession.
Might have been a delay a game.
He might have thrown the ball away. So when there's a change of possession, you have to just drop the ball where it's at. You can't roll the ball or anything.
So Aaron West is going to call that delay a game, and it'll be a time-serving penalty for Bolles. So there's the moving pick. It was close.
Yeah, he leaned into it a little bit.
Okay. So there's the ball, and he shot it after the whistle.
Yeah.
So that was the delay a game. So if they've got a long pole up there on the man up, that's Connor Chasen. I still think you want to overplay Everett Thompson here on that left side, even on the man down. You don't want your pole stick handling on man down.
No.
Or man up, I should say, if you're Maclay. Over and back call. Just like in basketball on the over and back. So penalty should be close to over at this point. Nice defensive stand. That's the risk of having that long pole out there for man up. He may have a cannon, may have a nice shot, but as far as stick handling and playing in traffic, it's challenging.
He bobbled the ball a little bit, and Bolles is going to press out on him, and you saw it right there that he just couldn't get the ball back, and they pushed it all the way up and got over and back.
They pounced Ander Kelly. Now it works it's over to Coleman. Spins, double team comes, bounces it back out. That's a shot wide. The goalie was going down as Borey let rip. Sledzik with the quick restart. Feed to the backside shot. That was a goal on the backside feed. So Shep Mitchell, if you're going to slide fast, Bolles is looking for the backside. We've seen it a couple of times now. That time it was Mitchell camped out.
The Maclay defender, as you can see right here, the Maclay defender was number 9, was just ball watching. Great cut by number 1, Shepard Mitchell. recognizing that his defender's not looking at all. Hard for the goalie to come from one side to the other side to try and make that save.
Pinpoint pass as well.
See, we talked about those passing, that pass getting through. It was a little bit tough in the first quarter, but now we're seeing them make those passes now and making Maclay pay for it.
Surface to the crease, shot and a score. Ander Kelly, the lefty, on an amazing pass. Quick offense. So Aaron West explaining the penalty. It's going to be wiped out. Similar, it was in lacrosse, the technical foul is a minor foul, and it gets wiped out on the penalty. So there was that shove. So what a feed. And a cross-handed catch and finish by Ander Kelly.
On that one, the penalty was there was a restart. The defender has to give the player who has the ball 5 yards. He wasn't more than 5 yards away, so that's a delay of game penalty, but didn't need it right there. Bolles did a great job. Looked like Maclay's defense was kind of sleeping there.
Nice face-off win. 4-on-3 if they hurry. There's the point man, and collapsing, smothering defense by Bolles. I like Tanner Hogan.
He's playing very aggressive and pressing out, and he's doing a great job of it.
You know, when we give out player of the game and we give accolades, so many times it's based on number of goals scored, but paying special attention to some of these defenders. And right there, Tanner Hogan, I've seen him do it all already. Now here's an opportunity as Borey comes around, switches hands, goes left, works it to Padgett. I like to watch Padgett shoot with time and space. We'll see if they can get him open because he has a missile. There's a shot and a score. Fortunately, number 30, we're trying to find out who that is. He's on the roster, but there we go. Thank you, PA announcer. That was Ginder.
It's just great one-on-one effort right there. Again, put your left foot in the ground, go down the alley to the right side, switch from left to right, just beating the goalie. Gets his hands high over the head, straight down shot, bounce shot to that opposite side of the goalie. Great job by the Bolles offense.
So John Allen Ginder, number 30, with the goal. Who wants it? Maclay wants it this time into the offensive end. See if they keep that pole out there for some offense again. It didn't work on man up, but they definitely have confidence in him to handle the ball. Now he's got a little bit of separation. See if he stays out there or runs off. He's staying out there for now, and his teammates trust him. There's Deal. Back to Thompson. Covered by Furyk. 6-0 is our score. 6:35 to go in quarter number 2. Boy, he can roll. He's got so much room, he just won't do it. There's the double team. Shot deflected. If you come on that double team, you want to make sure you go on both sides of them. Both of the defenders doubling went to the same side. You want to turn him back into the double. He will not roll back to his right.
Did you notice what he did, though? He rolled underneath and kept it in his left hand. He had a right-handed shot all day long. For probably 30 seconds, he could have shot it with his right hand.
What a save by Garrett Job. That one was tracking towards that lower right corner on the stick side. And Garrett Job went down and got it. Now here's some offense. Shot and a score. Andrew Sledzik with the goal.
Great individual effort again. Getting to the middle of the field, top side, getting his hands free and shooting. As we've seen, Bolles can score in multiple different ways. Assisted, unassisted, just a great job by Bolles.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing and Construction. What a setting here at the Bolles School. Our score is the Bolles Bulldogs 7, Maclay 0. It's Rivalry on the River. 5:53 remaining in quarter number 2. I am Ray Carnicelli at Lax904 on Twitter, joined by Christopher Milo. It's been all Bolles, even when Maclay has the ball on offense. Not too threatening.
Yeah, great job by Bolles. They have 6 different goal scorers.
Here's Dowdy. Here's a chance on the 4-on-3. Passing it down low to Everett. and Furyk puts it on the ground.
Bolles is just being extremely aggressive on their defensive end.
Kerner with nice stick handling across the midfield line, turning it over to the stick handlers on offense. That's Paget. Back to J.D. Matson, another offensive threat. Matson is a time and space shooter as well. Paget. There's Ginder, shot and a score. So Ginder on the run, picture-perfect alley dodge.
Did you hear the ping on the post? He hit the opposite side. That's exactly what you want to do. If you're going down the right side, you want to shoot to the left side. It's very difficult for the goalie to save on that opposite side of the cage. But again, just one-on-one matchup, real easy, as fast as you can, running down that alley, getting your hands free, shooting.
And what I liked is he wasn't way out at the hash marks. He was probably a yard or two inside of the hash marks on the football field, and that's a really good gauge. The wider you get, the more angle you lose quicker, and by staying inside on the hash mark, you're running downhill, and really nice job by Ginder.
That's just great coaching by Coach Cam Mann on explaining to the guys where they want to get to for their shots.
Bolles ball, Sledzik back to Coleman. Campen. Surface coming over to set a pick. Give it right back to Surface, who doesn't mind dodging on that long pole. He gets underneath, gets to the middle, backhanded shot, takes a hit, ball is loose. Sledzik comes up with it, moving that ground ball. Oh, Coleman's calling for it. A little quicker, he had a shot, but defense was able to recover. That cross crease is open once again. The backside defender is sucking way in, which gives some opportunity. Look at Coleman with the face dodge, shot and a score. Caleb Coleman running and weaving through traffic, protecting his stick, and finding the twine.
Can't say it any better than you just did there, Ray. Just another great individual effort, making sure that getting to that good shooting spot, just running through a kind of a soft double team right there, but great shot on goal, great placement of that shot.
The key to a good face dodge, he sets the stick out wide, tempts the defender to run right at his stick, and then pulls it across his face. One of the first dodges you teach the young kids is to protect it, bring it in front of your face, and then free it back up by your ear to shoot. Big hit, a couple of big hits. Let's see who the penalty's on, because two guys went down. You could hear it up here. Chris, you think it's going to be on 12?
Cross check. My guess is cross check on number 12.
Well, the referee's going to signal it right now. 22,
oh,
cross
22.
check.
Okay. Do I get half the credit because I had one of the numbers right?
You got the player wrong. Boom. Okay. That was number 12, though, so you did get that right.
All right, I got it right. They gave it to number 22, though.
I didn't see Patrick Mulvey out there, and that was Bryce Hogan.
Another errant pass on a man-up play from Maclay.
So let the short stick pick it up. Very smart. Look at Job clearing out, creating space. He's just a smart player. The goalie. That was just a little thing that he did right there, but it showed his IQ. First of all, he didn't pick it up. He let the midi pick it up, and then he cleared out and dragged the defender away from the middle. Young players out there watching, it's the little things you do. You don't have to have the ball to make an impact. Here comes Sledzik. Back across to Ginder. The more I watch Bolles, the more I just saying to myself, for a while there, Bolles had 7-8 goals, and Caleb Coleman hadn't scored yet. And then Sledzik, and then Surface, and then both Boris, and then Paget. There's so many options.
It makes the game a lot easier when you don't have to rely on one guy to get all your goals.
Hard to defend, and then you got Ginder out there making music off the pipe, pinging those corners.
Yeah, it's tough as a coach because you look at it and you say, well, we need to stop Spencer Service. Well, then you stop Spencer Service, then Caleb Coleman gets a goal, and then Sledzik, and then it's just the list goes on and on.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. You have to play great team defense for the entire game to really stop this. You can't have any letdowns anywhere in your defense.
Sledzik threads the needle, passes in front, shot and a score. Another goal. That was Gavin Borey. And Chris, while you were talking, I was thinking Andrew Sledzik's game has developed so much. He's been playing at Bolles for a long time. I think he was playing as a freshman. But he's so unselfish now, and great stick protection for Borey. And he finishes strong to the middle with that left hand.
Yeah, the TV kind of didn't show it right there, but as Sledzik was coming to the middle, his head was up the entire time, scanning the field, looking to find that open guy. And like you said before, that backside is open. They found him. They found Gavin Borey on the backside wide open. Again, Maclay kind of ball watching a little bit, and another easy goal.
There's a shot tester from distance, and I'll tell you right now, I'm reading Garrett Job's mind, the goalie, number 88 right now. Please take that shot again. Those are the ones that you want. You want some action, and they want to loft a shot from that distance. Job wants a little bit of action right now. Stick protection. Does a nice job not withholding. Now here's Thompson, gets to that left side shot, and there it is. Garrett Job. Like, even right there, he wants to be in the action right now. That was a perfect pass, just a dropped pass. Worley couldn't handle it, and another offensive opportunity for Maclay. Phipps. Skips it across. Cannon deal. Marked by Surface. Gets underneath, shot, deflected. It's still a shot. Nice job by Bolles to win that. That was Spencer Surface IQ. He knew it was still a shot, and got position, stepped out there.
Got closest to the end line where the ball went out, and now they have possession of the ball.
Had.
They still, maybe not.
And there's Maclay off to the races. If they're going to get offense, transition is a good time to do it. There's a tester. Oh. No. Saved by Garrett Job.
The only way Maclay is going to have a really good shot against getting a goal in against Job is they're going to have to either find the backside or be within 5 yards of the cage one-on-one with him.
Somehow,
he's seeing the ball really, really well right now.
Yeah, somehow Everett Thompson's got to free up and get that left hand free. And right now, Furyk is just smothering him. 17 seconds ago, possession, timeout. So Bolles trying to get a little more magic here before halftime. Are we going out or staying? 10. So Chris, you call the timeout. You call the timeout, and you just want to make the most of it. And whether it's for this game and trying to get that 11th goal or for the future, it's a situational coaching opportunity. Tell me, as a coach, what you would be talking to your boys about right now.
I'm setting up a play. It's maybe something we worked on during practice in the weeks, maybe in the last couple of weeks. It's something that I think you have to start with the ball. Most likely the player starting with the ball is going to have a long pole on him. So I think they got to move it quickly. You want to typically start a dodge with this short time, 10, 12 seconds left. My guess is you want to get the ball to Spencer Surface.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Spencer Surface starts with it, or one of those cagey middies. They're Surface with the ball right now, so we've known Coach West long enough, and he knows the game well enough that he wants somebody who can get the party started. You've got to get the defense spinning. He may not end up with it. It might be Sledzik, it might be Coleman, it might be name your Bulls goal scorer, but Spencer Surface has the ability to beat his man, force a slide, or run straight to the cage here. Little confusion from Maclay on their personnel.
As you see, Spencer Surface has the ball, and there's a long pole defending him.
Shot, score. 5-hole. Sledzik made it look easy, and surface wasn't even really beat. Just off-ball defense was lacking there for Maclay.
So if we get a replay of that, you'll see there's actually, I think, 3 Bolles players on the backside set a pick for Sledzik to come over the top and get a shot off.
The old picket fence.
See the pick on that left side? Those 3 guys kind of all bundled up.
Reminds me of, what was it, Hoosier. They ran the old picket fence.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
set that screen up, come around the screen, swing it open, and
you're up 10-0. Yeah, I mean, you might as well try it now.
There's a face-off win. Timeout. They called a timeout. I'm not sure about that one. In short time, it's going to be hard to get the ball into an open shot, and they were in a scoring opportunity right there.
It's my guess is Maclay will probably do some type of pick play.
Do they even have time?
Yeah, I mean, the player who's going to be catching and shooting needs to be running before they even blow the whistle, so set it up before the whistle even goes.
We'll see if Maclay lobbies to put some more time on the clock, because a lot of time in those timeouts, from the time the coach calls it to the time the ref whistles it to the time the clock operator sets it, we'll see. But 4 seconds is not a lot of time. It's enough time to feed to a dangerous position, but depending on where the ball starts, Bolles will likely put a pole right in the face and try to keep and prevent any dangerous pass. So the Bolles school dominating here in the first half, 11-0. When you look at some of the key stats today, on the saves front, Job has 5 saves with no goals against. At the other side, 1 save and 11 goals against for Maclay. See, the Ponte Vedra boys are getting ready. It's Rivalry on the river, and they've got their rival Creekside.
Last year, Ray, it was a great game. 1-goal game. I think Ponte Vedra pulled it out 9-8, and then in the district championship, Creekside was able to come up on top. I think that game was also 9-8, with Mana Wilhelm scoring the game-winning goal.
So right now, the Maclay guys are going into halftime. Coach's job is to let them know that every time you're on the field, it's an opportunity to get better and do something special. You're with your buddies, you're with your friends. Where would you rather be other than out there playing lacrosse? That's what I would tell them. I've been on the wrong end of a lot of scores. I've had to turn and rake many times. There's a shot, goes wide. So Maclay attempted that quick shot from distance, and we are at the half. And what a half it was for the Bolles school. We're going to go ahead and take a break. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Our score is Bolles 11, Maclay 0.
Alan Verlander here with High School 912. We're at the half of Bolles and Tallahassee Maclay. Bolles leading over Maclay 11-0. And I'm joined by, I love this interview because we've been friends for like, 25 years? You and your husband. But this is Allison Ginder. I almost said Grinder because you told me that. But Allison Ginder of Berkshire Hathaway Realty. She's a great realtor here in town and a huge supporter of High School 912. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's a beautiful day, and so happy to be here. Great event.
So I know when we talked about you supporting this last year, High School 912 really spoke to you and all the different things that we do. Why was that important?
It's important to me because I was a high school athlete, and I have 2 kids who have played high school sports, and I see what it does for the community and how it brings people together. And you put on such an amazing event here, and lacrosse is growing like crazy. It's exciting to be a part of this. It's really one of the premier lacrosse events in Florida, I think.
So you're in a business in obviously residential services and home sales and all that. That's been really boring lately because there hadn't been anything going on, is it? I mean, it's exploded. And so how has your business kind of transformed over the last couple of years?
It's, I represent both buyers and sellers, and it's just, I tell people sometimes I'm in the business of managing expectations, and right now that's especially true because the market is just so crazy, especially for home buyers. It's just a very, very challenging market, and if you're not represented by a realtor, you're really doing yourself a disservice. There's challenges for buyers and really for sellers, because there's, we have such limited inventory right now. We have a 1-month supply of inventory. So if all the buyers were to buy right now, the inventory would be gone in a month and there'd be nothing to sell. Mortgage rates continue to rise, inventory continues to stay low. So it's just it's a crazy time. It really is. But I love it. I love working with buyers. I love working with sellers. I'm just here for the ride.
So I mean, what has really changed over the last couple of years, and what was kind of that thing that made it from just, steady to just gangbusters, where you get 28 bids, you get all these kinds of things over the last couple of years?
Right, yeah. I mean, we've really seen it transition from a seller's market to from a buyer's market to a seller's market. And right now, as a seller, you're in the driver's seat, and you list your property and you market it, and for a great property, you can expect anywhere from 5 to we've seen as high as 45 offers on a property. So it's super important to work with an agent, if you're a buyer especially, to learn how to negotiate that and manage that process. And then also as a seller, to know what is, as a seller, what's the least risk for me, and what is the best. Sometimes it's not the highest number, but it's what is the best, all-around offer that will put me at the least risk. So that's what we've really seen change, and it continues to just explode right now.
So where do you see this going in the next year? I mean, are we going to be right where we are?
I think we'll be right where we are. They're telling us that we'll continue to see prices rise probably 20% over the next year, and then we'll, hopefully it'll level off at some point. We're still at a really good place in Jacksonville because we're still undervalued versus the rest of the state. So, if you're a seller and you're seeing your prices continue to rise, at some point it has to level off. But right now, it's a great market if you're a seller. It really is.
So where can people find you if they want your services?
So they can go on my website. It's AllisonGinder.com. Or my cell phone number is also on there. I'm with the Berkshire Hathaway office out at Jacksonville, or Atlantic Beach, out at the beaches, but I go all over town, St. Johns County and Duval County mainly.
That's Allison Ginder. She's the best realtor in town and my good friend. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for all your support of this event.
I appreciate it. It's a great event. I'm really proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
So we're at halftime here of Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Bolles leads Tallahassee Maclay 11-0. We'll bring you the second half right after this.
Breezy, sunny day on the banks of the St. Johns River. It's the Bolles School. It's Rivalry on the River. I am Ray Carnicelli. Follow me on Twitter at Lax904. I'm joined by Christopher Milo. Chris, Bolles has been utterly dominating. We saw the halftime stat, 6-6 on the face-off. That's one opportunity that Maclay needs to take advantage of.
Yeah, we'll see the second half face-off right now, and this is an opportunity for Maclay if they can keep possession of it.
Dowdy under heavy pressure. Really nice ground ball work by Bryce Hogan. Finds the open man, and that's the ever-dangerous Andrew Sledzik. Just such an unselfish player. To be honest with you, he used to be kind of a first-shoot guy. I mean, a shoot-first guy.
I knew what you meant, right?
You knew.
But, yeah, so we've been watching him for a lot of years, and it's great to see him develop as a player.
And that's vintage Caleb Coleman. Shields brings his stick on the tuck as he runs through the dodge, keeps his stick out in front, doesn't hang it for the trail check, and finds the back of the net once again. Glides off the field.
Great job by Caleb.
There's that shielding.
Yeah, bringing that stick to the inside, protecting it on the defender, bringing it back. Goalie comes out to try and cut off the angle, but just couldn't make it.
He took a challenging angle. I believe that's Sean Van Tassel in goal.
And he is in 6th grade, Ray. 6th, playing varsity lacrosse at Bolles. It's a great opportunity. Just 12-0 that's a little tough situation to come into.
Yeah, varsity lacrosse in 6th grade. I think I was probably like trying to arrange a kickball game or something like that. So in boys varsity lacrosse, when there's a 12-goal margin in the second half, typically it goes to a running clock, meaning when it goes out of bounds or after a goal, where normally it would stop to the restart, the rule is that it will continue to run, so it's running time.
And it will continue all the way till the end of this game. Obviously, the only time it'll stop is when it gets to zeros in between the third and fourth quarter.
What about coaches' timeouts?
Nope, still runs.
Got a little disagreement here in the booth. I've seen it called both ways this year. Yesterday, it stopped.
Well,
for the Ponte Vedra at Nice game, it ran.
I guess it depends on who the referees are and who's running the clock.
Well, Maclay's main issue right now is how do we get the ball and how do we stop Bolles? Because Bolles, they can keep running 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 subs in there. And there's a shot, hit the post. John Allen Ginder's got a couple of goals today, almost had another one. There's a shot and a score. John Allen Ginder having a day. I believe that's number 3 for Ginder.
Yeah, I think Maclay's depth right now is going to start to come into play. They just look a little tired, look a little slow.
Stick to the middle, beat his man. The slide looked like number 23. Jowd wanted to come, decided not to, so free look at the cage for Ginder. Face-off win, so the one area has been a plus, a positive, is the face-offs. But what do you do when you get the ball? A little bit of a head of steam. Somebody has to beat their man one-on-one. There's that flag. See if they call a push or if he got a little bit high on him. 1 minute. Got to see what the referee's signaling here.
Yeah, Tanner Furyk has been aggressive all game. He got a little too aggressive on that one.
Just got to stay down in his hip. Once it rides up around the head, nothing good happens. And so with Furyk in the penalty box, Everett Thompson's probably like, finally, and there he is, right on cue. Furyk goes to the penalty box. Everett Thompson finally gets a look, and he's dangerous, just hasn't had a lot of good looks.
Yeah, not too many opportunities today. Smothering defense by Tanner Furyk, but like you said, he's in the penalty box, and Everett Thompson gets a shot. I mean, great shot. Way to get his hands high away from his body, get all his power into it, and then just puts it in that lower corner. And Ray, as a goalie, you know that's not an easy save to make.
No, and if I'm the goalie or if I'm the coach, I'm saying they've got one serious scoring threat on offense, and it's man up. Get in his gloves early and often.
Yeah, no reason to leave. Bulls, there's no reason for leave Everett Thomas out on the island just like that. Give him a free opportunity.
Man up or not, he's the guy you got to pay attention to. We were saying it before it happened. It's like, it's not rocket science. So Maclay attempting to clear.
I'll blame the defensive coach for that one. He's got to let his defensive guys know that they got to look out for him.
Successful clear for Maclay. Checks are raining down once again, and the lob pass is intercepted by Surface. Racing up the near side, protecting his stick into the offensive end. Do they slow it down or they continue to push? And that looked like the start of the game where they were just a little discombobulated in transition, and don't know whether you pump the brakes and set up your offense or just make a better pass.
Ray, I was actually just about to ask you, what do you think Bulls is going to start to do? Slow it down a little bit, maybe take some of their starters out, or wait a little bit longer, because they do have a big roster. And a lot of times when you get deeper into the season, it is good for those guys at the bottom of the roster to start getting game minutes for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think they're going to empty the bench here and get some quality minutes for some of these younger players. They've got a 35-man roster. And that's a shot and a score, but Cannon Deal says, not so fast, my friend.
That great individual effort getting to the middle of the field. Let's take a look at it right here. A roll back to his strong hand. Great bounce shot.
Slide was a little late. If you're coming, come early. Come to the stick. So Cannon Deal, a little cannon blast. right-handed goal.
Yeah, it took Maclay a little bit to get to this point, but, you know, they put 2 up on the board, and that's very good. You know,
Greer Borey on the face-off. John Adams Dowdy's done a nice job today. Borey had the clamp initially. And it's going to be Bolles possession. J.D. Matson. Just working it around on offense. Expecting to be a little more deliberate. I do see some new players out there right now for Bolles. Off the pipe, rebound, and it's corralled. Van Tassel, he's just going to chuck it to the other end. Who's going to come up with it? This time it's initially J.D. Matson. Let's see if they got the timeout call on the possession. So once again, we've seen Coach West use that timeout. So when we come back, it'll be possession Bolles off of this timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Our score is Bolles 13, Maclay 2. Land South Construction scoreboard. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing.
These days, there's so much competition for our attention as we drive. And if the driver next to you takes their eyes off the road for a minute, you're hit. Call 1-800-ASK-GARY directly from the scene. Your free 24/7 auto accident helpline. Get the settlement you deserve.
Make it a laid-back look, or go for a total showstopper. Keep it cozy for one, or live large with the whole crew. In other words, make it uniquely, totally you. Designer looks can help with that. Play with lots of styles, tons of colors, and even pet-friendly fabrics. It's your sofa your way. The best part? It's all crafted right in our North Carolina workshop. It's custom designer furniture without the designer prices. We are designer looks, only at American Signature Furniture.
If you've been injured in a car accident, then you know the next steps are critical for your well-being now and down the road. First things first, call 1-800-ASK-GARY. You do have rights, and you deserve to get the best treatment and cash settlement possible. 1-800-ASK-GARY.
See the Ponte Vedra Sharks. They're schooling. They're ready. Facing Creekside coming up next. Coach Poe taking notes. Send him a text up there in the blue shirt. That's Coach Polanski. We're going to text him, see if he's following along, or is he game planning right now. There's Everett Thompson. Locked, loaded, shot low and away. Beautiful shot. And then Cannon Deal comes back. Strong right hand, high to low shot. Ready for the restart. Bolles possession. Spencer Surface with the one-man clear like we've seen him do over the last couple of years. Caleb Coleman back out there for Bolles, number 2. Setting up that left-handed dodge on the shorty. Little congested there. We'd have liked to seen Surface clear out a little more after that ghost pick. Trying to get underneath. Low angle shot just off the mark. The shooting percentage for Bolles has been on cage. They're scoring. Obviously not a lot of saves today. So you get a little more aggressive with your shots. Just hit the 6x6. There's a shot. Stings the corner. Surface with the goal.
Again, just shooting for that far side. Very difficult for the goalie to make the save on that.
That's a hat trick for Spencer Surface. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists so far today. 2 hat tricks on the day. John Allen Ginder's got a hat trick. Surface has a hat trick. Borey Gavin has 2 goals. Sledzik has 2 goals, as does Caleb Coleman. Chip in another goal for Shep Mitchell and Ander Kelly. And that's how you get to 14.
A lot of different scorers for Bolles today.
And we still have over a quarter of lacrosse left. 14 on the board so far. There's Sledzik running away from trouble. Lumberjack checks on the arm. Backside feed, shot and a save. There's a save. Ball is still loose, and Bolles has an opportunity as the goalie's down and out. Now he gets back up. That's an ill-advised forced pass, but nice job by Kelly to come up with it. Now it's a turnover. Maclay decides to send it down to the other end of the field. It's going to be Bolles ball, and the Bulldogs get their short sticks down for the clear. They push the poles all the way up and have multiple short sticks come down on the clear. Uncontested clear, end to end. Kellen Paget. So Bolles making the most of their possessions today. Work it around, very deliberate. Figure out who has the best matchup to try to attack, get the defense spinning,
and also see how much time they can waste off on the clock right now, because there's only 2 minutes left, just over 2 minutes left in the third.
At some point, if you're Maclay, you either concede the game and don't come out and press out, or you try to make a little bit of a game of it and press out and run the risk of Bolles running right by you right now, because it's utter domination. There's a nice inside move, feed to the backside, deflected. Nice job by Cannon Deal to knock that pass down.
Yeah, great job to recognize that backside was open and get his stick up. Cannon Deal did a great job on that.
Paget in the middle of the two-man game. Goes on vacation without his luggage, forgot the ball. And Bolles recovers. Seems like probably 90% of the loose balls, Bolles is coming up with them. And there's Borey. Back to Paget. Working on this screen. They got the switch off, and here comes Andrew Kelly. Trying to get to the middle with his left hand. Got to watch the warding penalty. High bounce shot over the goal. Okay. You can't push off with your free hand. It's not a penalty, but it would be a change of possession, but no call there. Working on those screens. Pushing that left goal line. Change the point of attack. Around the right goal line extended. A lot of standing off ball right now. That's not typical of this Bolles offense.
Ray, you took the words right out of my mouth as we're watching this game. It looks like Bolles is not, the Bolles players don't look too interested in moving around right now. They're all just watching the guy with the ball, which is not typical of this Bolles team, and obviously we haven't seen that.
That's not typical either.
Yeah, just a lazy pass, flat-footed, just sailed the ball over his teammate's head.
With the 12-goal margin going into the fourth quarter, a little bit of energy has come out of the Maclay team, and through osmosis, Bolles as well. They just got to keep their pace up. Even if you're just working the ball around, you want to throw crisp passes. Looks like we've got a timeout on the field. So we'll stay with you through this timeout on the field with 14 seconds left. It's Rivalry on the River. Dominating performance so far by the Bolles school. And Chris, I went through and talked about the various goal scorers for the Bulldogs. In the state of Florida, there's two classes, 1A and 2A, with 1A being the smaller schools and 2A being the larger schools. When you look at Bolles' outlook for the rest of the season and into the playoffs, what do you foresee?
I see a lot of the same. I mean, they're 11-1 on the season. After this game, they'll be 12-1.
Oh, so you're already putting this one in the books?
I'm going to go out on a limb.
The one game they lost, I believe, was up in North Carolina at Myers Park.
Then on March 30th at 6 p.m., they're playing Fleming Island at home. It's a tough game for them. Fleming Island's got a decent squad. They're a little down this year. And then they play Episcopal School of Jacksonville. Not having a great year, but it is a rivalry game sometimes.
Well, I got to tell you, that kid Tritt yesterday put on a show, and then Doda, the goalie, Jackson.
Sometimes you can throw the records out the window in rivalry games. Then the tough test is they're playing Montverde Academy on April 5th, away at 7 p.m. That's going to be, I think, their true test.
Yeah, we saw Montverde play Ponte Vedra.
And then the last game for Bolles School is Friday, April 8th. They're playing Oak Hall in Gainesville.
Okay, so a couple of nice tests going forward for the Bolles School before Coach West tries to make a deep run in the 1A playoffs. Doubling right off the clear. Nice job. That's Cannon Deal into the offensive end. Got to protect that stick because here comes the double. Bryce Hogan had him lined up. He wants to get back to that right hand. There it is. Gets his pocket picked by George Kerner. And we are at the end of quarter number 3. Bulls on top. We're going to go ahead and take a break. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Like to tell the kids, shoot like you're swinging an axe, from up high to down low. And Henry Hobby chopping wood. Coach West having a chuckle over there. Back out for the face-off. That's a 9th grader scoring that goal, Henry Hobby. Here's that face-off win we've been talking about with a shot to score. New goalie in for Bolles. Welcome to Ander Wogemuth. He played a lot. You know, we saw him starting last year and coming in a little bit cold, it looked like. But, you know, we had mentioned the opportunity off the face-off, and that was John Adams Dowdy. Straight up the middle, late to no slide, and Wogemuth is there, but a little bit late. Goal for Maclay.
Yeah, it's not easy to follow these bounce shots on the turf. They bounce differently than on natural grass. Just a tough one, and again, coming in, I'm not sure if he really got a warm-up, but that was the first shot he saw, and just a great shot by the Maclay player.
So heavy pressure. That was a nice job by Patrick Mulvey, putting the pressure on that ground ball and then coming up with it. White call timeout?
Yes, Bolles called the timeout.
So that was the 11th grader Patrick Mulvey coming up with that ground ball.
As a proud supporter of High School 912, CSI knows how important it is to find the right people for your team. With more than 25 years of connecting.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. 4th quarter action coming back after this commercial break. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. What a view, what a day. The mighty St. John's River. It's Rivalry on the River.
Ray, we've tailgated for some Jaguar games underneath that bridge.
Right under the Green Bridge, the Hart Bridge. That was the Matthews Bridge. The Ponte Vedra guys look like they're relaxed. Got a few guys in that box field behind the stadium getting loose. Bolles is loose, leading 15-3. Shot and a score. Looked like that was number 20.
Number 20, Nate Towers.
So a lot of different players getting into the action for Bolles. Another 9th grader. So
a lot of young players seeing the field.
Yeah, a couple of freshmen. We also had J.D. Matson out there, a 10th grader, along with 7th grader Leo Giuliemi.
Giuliemi.
9 different scorers so far, and the youngsters having some fun with it as well. Hold blue, could hear it from here. Tommy Cusson.
So I think the problem for Maclay right now is they look a little tired, but there's not too much on the bench to go to. They have a very small school out in Tallahassee, private school, not a lot of players.
You know, we've been I've been following Bolles lacrosse for, I don't know, a long time. They've had a program, one of the longest serving programs here in North Florida, but you start seeing the younger brothers and the same names, different player like Cusson and Mulvey and these guys, and the next generation's coming up, and that's such a benefit. And then Coach West is here. The future's very bright for Bolles, and I'm anxious to see how far they can run in the playoffs this year. They've got experience. They've got the key positions with Greer Borey on the face-off, Job in the goal. You've got that center spine of the team, and then all those goal scorers. There's a shot, and it's a score. That was a really nice shot.
Yeah, great job by Cannon Deal. getting to the middle of the field, getting over and realizing that there's a lefty goalie in there. Have to shoot to the other side of the cage now. As you see, perfect shot right there.
Great camera work.
Oh, man, that was a beautiful shot. Wolgemuth was just a little too high with his stick, but great job by Cannondale.
Whoever the cameraman is, kudos to you. They have that ice stand over there. I had the strawberry Italian ice yesterday. I highly recommend it. So take a walk if you're listening from the stadium. The 8th grader, Greer Borey. A lot of guys getting experience. He's been out there the whole game doing the dirty work at the face-off spot. What are you calling, Chris?
My guess is a Ward, but I think the coach got the timeout before. He saw his player getting into trouble, called the timeout.
So it looks like we have a timeout on the field with 6:25 remaining. Coming up next, Ponte Vedra, Creekside. Chris, what's going to happen? Tell us.
A lacrosse game is going to be played. That's what's going to happen, and I'm sure it's going to be a great game. Like we said before, Ponte Vedra won the game in the rivalry on the river last year. Great game, came down to the end of it. Then later in the season, Creekside ended Ponte Vedra's season for the first time ever in the district championship. So Ponte Vedra is going to look for some revenge from that game. I'm sure Creekside is on a high right now, having a great season.
Save of the game. Beautiful one-on-one save. CFX, Office Technology, save of the game. Sean Van Tassel, the little man coming up big.
Did you see him when his left-handed came all the way across the cage, punched that top hand up, and was able to make it?
I call that the wax on save from the Karate Kid.
Wax on and then wax off, right?
Yeah, when I was doing my goalie training with Mr. Miyagi way back in the day, he would just have me wax his cars and paint the fence. And
wait, did they make the movie about you, Ray?
Well, they changed it.
Oh, okay.
They made it a karate movie, but it was really lacrosse training. And you know, everyone says, why do you have these quick reflexes and reaction? It's almost like you know where the shot's going. It's focus.
Wow, they casted Ralph Macchio to play you, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Catching the fly with the chopsticks. Done it all. Back to the action. Maclay, a little bit of ball movement. Dangerous shot. Check comes in. Okay, I've got a new favorite defender in North Florida, I got to tell you. Tanner Hogan.
Yeah, number 10 for Bolles has been playing a great job today. All over the field, aggressive, picking off passes.
That's a shot deflected. I say that, and then you talk about what Furyk did at the beginning of this game, just completely shutting down Everett Thompson. His only goal came when Furyk was cooling down in the penalty box. Good stick handling. Nice ball movement. Owen Phipps. Deliberate ball movement here with 5:18 to go. Cannondale's got a couple goals on the day. Working back towards the middle. Watch those hands get free. Shot. Save. Andrew Wolgemuth with the save. Controls the rebound. Got to get it out of his end. Oh, nice shove. Legal shove. Cannondale. Boy, I would be going to the cage, and I'm a goalie. Turn and shoot. Turn and shoot. Deflected. Bolles is going to come up with it. This time it's Jake Hogan. The Hogan boys sealing down that back end on the defense. Maclay comes back up with it, and they proceed to throw it away.
A little bit of sloppy play on both sides. Wolgemuth threw the ball away, and then we just saw Maclay throw the ball away.
Watch this save. Wax on, Danielson.
Great
thing of
job.
beauty. And did you see his focus? I've always said this when I'm coaching goalies. You can tell when they're on is when they foul the rebound. And he caught his own rebound. Don't get him in the back. Loose ball picked up by Bolles. It's Henry Hobby. The freshman has a goal. Might have stepped out of bounds. Might have got a timeout, too.
No, he stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds.
Great job. He just needed to move the ball a little bit quicker.
That's a risky pass across the field. And it's going to be a loose ball. Will it go out of bounds? Oh, what a great first-time ground ball by George Kerner. Look at the defense for Bolles. Stick handling, playing one-on-one defense, and what touch finesse on the pass. Tommy Cusson. Nate Towers. Another freshman, number 20. Over to Matson, the sophomore. Hobby, the freshman. See what I'm getting at here? A lot of young guys getting quality playing time.
Yeah, and it's great for the experience for the rest of the season. Maybe they'll get in later in the season, maybe when they make a deep run in the playoffs. This is going to be quality time for them.
Good ball movement. Towers controls. Backs out. Sweeping to the right. Getting the hands free. Shot wide. Nice job snapping that shot off. Good pace on it. Just off the mark. But there is David Caldwell. Freshman in at attack. That's a moving pick. Saw that. That was the veteran, Spencer Surface.
That's the second time he's been called for a moving pick.
Set those feet, young man. Maclay back on offense. Haven't heard much from Everett Thompson in a while. Got the shot off.
And he doesn't need much room. He's got great wrists. He can get a lot of power on that shot.
He's got Jake Hogan on him now. Gavin Rowe tiptoeing on that back line. We tell the kids, take another step in before the referee blows the whistle. Don't put your heels on that line because all it takes is one shove or one misstep.
Yep. Tanner Hogan was right there to play that aggressive defense and just push him right out of bounds.
Really nice pass by Wolgemuth. Up into the offensive end with 1:30 to go in the game. Spencer Surface.
Ray, do you even try and do anything here, or do we just want to get out of here as the Bolles team?
You know what? I wouldn't have a problem with one of those young guys trying to beat their man. I mean, you're in the game, you're competing. Those other guys, they practice all the time.
Though, right?
I don't think I would have Surface go, but Leo here. Let's see what Leo's got with a little stutter step, working around that screen. Sniper fire, stick's gone.
Yeah, as soon as he fell down and the stick came out and the ball was still in there, that's called withholding. Can't do that going the other way with Maclay's ball.
We heard last time when that ball went out of bounds, I could hear the coach telling Thompson, you need to go get the ball and start with the ball. So we'll see if the clock continues to run here. I'm not sure we're going to get another playoff as the referees explain this penalty.
Yeah, there was a slash on number 11 for Bolles. Got him in the back a couple of times.
If I'm Everett Thompson, blow the whistle. I want to get one more shot. Watching the clock tick down because we're in running time right now.
Yeah, look at that.
Whack.
Twice
whack.
Right in the back.
Got him in the leg.
Can't
clock
do that.
is winding down. There's the restart. There's Thompson. Will he get the shot off? Shot wide, and there's the final whistle. And the final score is Bolles 16, Maclay 4. What a game, what a show of offense, what a show of depth for the boys in white and orange, the Bolles Bulldogs. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Our final score is Bolles 16, Maclay 4. Are we doing? We're going to go ahead and throw it down to Alan Verlander, who's going to have a word with Coach Tom West of the Bolles School, the winning coach today.
We are here post-game Bolles with a great victory over Tallahassee Maclay, 16-4. I'm joined with the winning coach, Tom West. Great game today.
Yeah. I thought we played great. I thought we dealt with some adversity in the first quarter. They were trying to slow it down and keep the ball out of our sticks, and I thought they did a really good job of that. And then, we like to play fast, so once we started to be able to do that in the second quarter, I think things really went our way.
Yeah, Spencer Surface really got going, caught fire, John Allen Ginder. You had a lot of your scores that really kind of took life.
Yeah, it's good. We played a couple tough games last week, and it's always hard to play on a Saturday, and on TV, and this is a different environment for them. They're really not used to it, so I thought we responded pretty well to it.
Yeah, so Rivalry on the River, you've been involved with it from the very beginning. It's a special time for these players. Getting play on TV, that's all a big deal.
Yeah, I almost had a heart attack last year, but it was a great game, and you had the two best programs in North Florida battling out last year, and I think all the teams that get to play here, it's just they're in a stadium, they get to be on TV, and they get to feel like they're 5 minutes of fame, and that's special for kids nowadays. And you can come here and see a rematch of the regional championship last year between Bolles and Maclay, and then everyone's staying around to watch PV in Creekside. It's going to be great.
So what's next for Bolles? You got several games yet, and then hopefully the playoffs and move on.
Yeah, we've been working week to week trying to get better and trying to instill our culture, and I think the boys are buying into it. And we had a great win against Winter Park last week, but that was last week, so we got to move on. And this week we have some good games, and there's a big rivalry game with Episcopal on Friday, so I think that'll be fun. It's my first one. Yeah.
That's the winning coach, Tom West of the Bolles School. They win tonight in our fourth game. We got another game coming up, but they win tonight 16-4 against Tallahassee Maclay. We'll bring that to you here in a few minutes. Tom West, congratulations.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. It's awesome.
Back to you.